Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for October 1st. I'm going to say to the 5th. We're going to just go to the 5th. I have my candle set on green because that is the color of the heart chakra. And the heart chakra gives us the ability to give and receive love and compassion and empathy and kindness, and incites health and healing. And when it's imbalanced, we feel loss, regret, pain, low self-love, low self-esteem. So I thought it'd be appropriate to put them on that because we do have this full moon on October 1st conjunct Chiron, which is the great wounded healer, right? It's about us really going through things from our past. This is retrograde. It's going to be retrograde until December. I've been talking about this a lot, but it's going to be conjunct this full moon. So something's going to be very illuminated that's really necessary for us to look at for healing, past shame, past guilt, why we allowed certain things to happen to us. And it's happening a little more specifically in certain areas of our chart than others. So let's pull the healer energy here and see hole in the soul. Okay, so let's talk about this. And you do have Chiron is going to be conjunct this full moon in Aries. It's going to be happening for you guys in your 10th house. Now, 10th house is a lot more than career. It's public reputation. It's the legacy that you leave. But it's also father, right? Because it's ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is very much about authority, father, authority figures. So there might be some sort of revisiting that's going to be happening for you, Cancer, either having to do with past career choices, maybe that you're proud of, you're not so proud of. But for many of you, it can also be a return to, father and that restriction that you may have felt. Because remember, the 10th house and the 4th house of home work together. So where did you maybe feel very restricted when you were younger, okay? And how might this have ended up playing out in the choices that you make regarding your career and regarding how you show up in the world? And to have hole in the soul, this does indicate your childhood wounds are creating a hole in your soul. And that's one way, right? Our childhood wounds can disrupt an ordinary life is through a kind of like low-grade depression experienced as a type of almost perpetual empty feeling that many can experience with this energy. So if as a child you tried to make everything right, or always okay by picking up the pieces of your family dramas, then you ended up adopting a false self. Right? And then when you lose that sense of self, right, that authentic self, you end up disconnecting from your true feelings and your needs and desires. So instead you end up wearing a mask to make everyone else feel more comfortable and okay, and is everybody okay, and always checking the temperature of the room when you walk in. Being detached leads to a profound loneliness and isolation because you're always sort of mourning your true self without even actually realizing it. So this card encourages you to discover your true self through learning about your childhood, right, a little bit more, and mourning the abandonment and neglect in one area or another that you may have felt. Doesn't mean that your parents didn't love you. It doesn't mean that they weren't there, although it may. This is a very subjective feeling. Perhaps one of your parents was too aggressive or too hard on you, or whatever the case, right? But you're going to be very much in the sense of awareness of that dynamic. So we do have that happening on the 1st. And on the 3rd, we have Venus is going to be going into Virgo in your 3rd house of communication, of learning, short distance travel. So I like that for you, which is really good. And then on the 4th, Pluto's finally going direct, right? Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn have all been retrograde for like forever, it seems like. So Jupiter came out of retrograde mid-September, Pluto the end of September, and now Saturn the end of September, and now Pluto is going direct on the 4th. So there needs to be this transformation in something having to do with your partnerships, Cancer. So it could be your business partnerships, your marriage partnerships, or a very close soul connection having to do with friendship or family. It's not a falling in love kind of relationship energy, a love affair kind of energy, basic boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not. That's more 5th house. 7th house is more where you seriously have that higher level of intimacy, like marriage, that shared soul connection. So something is going to be being transformed there. for sure. I mean, because Pluto's about transformation, and now that it's finally going direct, there's been enough behind the scenes work, and now something needs to sort of move forward, right, in that area for you. Yeah, so let's get into this. And I'm going to mention a really good piece of news. Really good piece of news, but let's just get these guys going here for your past, present, future, final outcome for our Cancer brother and sister, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Guys, you want to make sure you check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, when you check your messages, you get the fullest messages that way. So the good news of this week is this minor grand trine that we have happening. And it's good for all of us. It's just going to be impacting each of us a little differently. And for those Cancers, especially rising, but to a little lesser degree, Sun and Moon, we have it. So the Moon is the new Moon in Taurus is going to end up being in your 11th house. Neptune in Pisces is going to be in your 9th house. So 11th house has to do with your goals, your friends. Okay, your friends, but your goals too, where it is that you see your life going. And then Neptune in Pisces is going to be in your 9th house, which has to do with your belief system, also with higher education, those of you who are in higher education. So that's a nice energy. And the trine, the third part of that trine is Jupiter and Capricorn in your 7th house of relationships. So I'm understanding this as some sort of unexpected gift coming in. It could be some sort of business opportunity for many of you, or goals that you've had cooking, having to do something to do with partnership or somebody close to you. But some sort of unexpected news coming in with the Grand Trine is very positive. It's really positive. So look out for that. Some good news coming in on the 5th, which will be welcomed because I think we've had a lot of like wacky energy, right? I think we can all agree to that. So let's see where you guys... So I did incorporate back into, right, where we are in the past, because I know a lot of people like, no, I like when you read about where I'm coming from, because it helps to ground you in the reading. And I understand that. I agree with you. So I'm working it back in. So we have the Two of Cups energy and the Five of Cups. Wow. Okay. So two very opposing energies here. We have the Two of Cups energies, which is about romantic love, partnership, proposal, marriage. But then we have this Five of Cups energy. So Five of Cups is focusing on 3 of the cups that are spelt and not focusing on the 2 of Cups that are still standing. So what does that mean? Feeling loss, feeling regret and grief, in some way feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. Now, Five of Cups energy does not have to do with it doesn't have to be about relationships. Your relationship may be fine. This could certainly have to do with feeling this sense of disappointment or sadness over a family situation or over a job or some sort of circumstance that even could have come up with your friends. So when we have it working with the Two of Cups energy, obviously the Two of Cups, yes, everything I mentioned, romantic love and all of that. But but the Two of Cups energy regarding career, it actually indicates things going quite well at work, meaning open communication. If there's an issue with your hours, like let's say I can't work evenings anymore, I need to tell my boss, I'm afraid, or needing to have some sort of conversation with your employees, your employers, something having to do with the work environment, and the Two of Cups having the conversation and it going really well. So there being some sort of issues, very pragmatic in the 3D going on with something that you're very involved in, needing to have the conversation and it going well. This is what you're wanting, right? But then we have the Five of Cups energy, which tells me that there's going to be some sort of, coming into this energy, there could have been some sort of loss here. And just feeling like unsupported, having to do with a situation regarding work. Like you put out what you need and you did not get what it is that you need. So you could have been rejected in some way. Others of you, this could be a sense of rejection within relationship. We have this working with the Hermit energy and the Ten of Pentacles. So the Hermit is Virgo energy, and it's all about going within for clarity and just a real quest for personal truth and spiritual illumination. If this has to do with relationships, sometimes it does indicate going it alone for a bit in the Hermit energy, just to be on your own to try to figure stuff out. For those of you who are in any kind of love affair situation that is secret and private, this could indicate you guys working privately on your relationship. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles energy. So if you are in any sort of secret relationship, the Ten of Pentacles does incite a deepening of commitment, a deepening of communication, a will you marry me kind of energy, quite frankly. So some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Others of you are very deep in introspection, really thinking about and going within to figure out how can you bring yourself this level of happiness, this deepening of commitment, right? Some of you are going to be very of the mindset of what do you need to do in your life to leave a really good legacy, to make your mark in the world. Some of you also may be in hermit mode and really trying to gain some clarity in some sort of circumstance that's going on with inheritance. Or some of you may be in a very deeply introspective space thinking about perhaps retirement. And maybe you weren't quite ready up to this point to retire, but now you feel like you may need to, or it's probably the best thing for you. It's going to resonate with each of you a bit differently. Okay, but that is what the hermit energy can mean as with career. And relationship as well. Really thinking about that Ten of Pentacle energy. Ten of Pentacle energy has this natural affiliation though with others, with family. So this is about maybe you're thinking about asking a family member for help to purchase a home, to purchase a business. Some of you may be in that space. You're asking family members for help having to do with resources in some way. But this is about getting family help in some way. But being in a very sort of introspective space, very introspective space. Okay? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see where you guys are at now. So right now you're the Fool and the World. Wow. These are two big major arcanas. The Fool is about having fresh hope, taking chances, new paths, new adventure, new beginning. You know, being very future focused, right? Because the Fool is a Uranus energy in astrology. So Uranus is a shocking piece of information comes, something shocking happens and it sort of changes your path. So some sort of information is coming in that's going to end up changing your path. And the World indicates, wow, this is pretty powerful. Because the World is about completing a goal or a lesson that was on your path that you needed to learn. Some of you, this is going to indicate travel. It could even just be very deep contemplation, but there's newness here, Cancer. Some of you guys are going to resonate with it. If you resonate with it, you're in a space of newness here. You're very focused on saying, you know what? I'm done with that lesson. Thank you very much. Right? You guys have been going through it. And I've been saying, like Cancer, Capricorn, I've been saying since like 2008. I just looking at reality for that dynamic, Cancer and Capricorn energies for sure. So the World is the big gift that comes at the end, though. The World is a Saturn energy. So Saturn is where all that structure and restriction and the no and the difficulty and all of that. And now when you get it, it's like, okay, that's complete. Time to get onto this new path. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very feisty energy, very confident and very, very self-assured, working with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a good energy, right? It's truth. If nothing else, it's truth. Now, some of you may be dealing with, like gossip. Some of you might be dealing with prying eyes. This could very much be a spy kind of energy. You might be dealing with, an immature energy like that. That's going to resonate with some of you. For others of you, this is about you just recognizing the truth in a new cycle that's upon you. Just really, and then, but being very confident, being very self-assured in basically in the fact that wherever you're going is going to be even better than where you've been, even though leaving whatever you've been in may not be easy. There's no easy. I mean, this is life after all, right? But it's going to end up being a better kind of energy for you. So the near outcome, we have the High Priestess energy working with the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I mean, being very self-sufficient, very, very honest. Lots of honesty here, being able to figure people out as soon as they walk in the room for sure. And then working with the High Priestess energy, this is about really trying to trust your intuition. This is about secrets, about mystery, yes. meaning that, Cancer, you may be in a space where you're doing a lot of planning behind the scenes. You're moving your chess pieces behind the scenes, and you're figuring things out. You're getting your ducks in a row, right? The High Priestess energy is you thinking and figuring things out, trusting your higher self, your intuition. Always make sure you have one foot on the ground when you do that. I always say that, right? Because the High Priestess is a moon energy. So you want to make sure that you're not telling yourself any sort of false narratives, staying within the confines of reality, but don't talk about it too much yet. Like, I feel like if you, and you're going to know if you have some plans that you're formulating right now about your near future, don't disclose them yet. Just don't. And I like that we got this with the Queen of Swords, because that tells me that you're going to be approaching everything from a very honest perspective, which is really important here. And this is working with the Emperor and the Three of Pentacles. This is great. Three of Pentacles. This is great. The Emperor is about being the leader of your own life. This is about respect and leadership and strategic planning. Some of you may even be getting help from a father figure to build something. Some of you may even be meeting somebody new that you're going to end up building something with. This is a Mars and Capricorn energy, the Three of Pentacles. I call this the Architect card because it's like creating the blueprint, right, for where it is that you want to go, right? What are you going to put your energies into? What are you going to work at, right? And it's a very motivated energy, the Three of Pentacles. But again, it's about building something together. And we have that with the Emperor, which is the leader of the tarot. I mean, it's the leadership energy. It's Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, right? So I feel so you guys are in the space of figuring out, what do you need to build? Where do you need to go? You're very much sort of moving the pieces around to become the true leader of your own life. And I know you're like, oh, what does that even mean? Like, literally being the leader of your own life means what is speaking to your integrity and what feels authentic to you, and where are you going to release the hole in the soul, the people-pleasing stuff. Checking the temperature every time you walk in the room. I'm not saying to not be kind and to not be empathetic. That's totally different. But this is where you need to value where it is that you're going and your ability to make some really solid decisions. So did you have like naysayers that were too much in your head and in your space in the past? Like, let it go. No negative thinking, no negative talk, no negative self-talk. Let it go. Three of Wands, Ace of Swords. Nice. Very nice. Beautiful. New ideas, mental clarity. The mental clarity that's going to be hitting you, though, and these epiphanies and this newness, because it's Ace, it's brand new, may bring with it a new kind of conflict, but one that's very necessary in order to level you up. As then we have the Three of Wands. This is great. As the Three of Wands is about teamwork, and it's about commerce and expansion. It really is beautiful. Some of you may even be traveling, but you're being appreciated. See, the thing with the Three of Wands is you're not alone. So there's this energy. So somebody really recognizing your talents, skills, and abilities, Cancer, if it has to do with anything in employment, career, anything like that. This is somebody really seeing the beauty in you and the passion in you if it has to do with a new relationship. And you're realizing that, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I didn't realize this person has been right in front of me, and I've been my eyes have been set on the wrong channel. Like, this is a good person for me, right? Or maybe you're realizing that maybe you are not realizing the benefit or the beauty of somebody until now, for no other reason other than because maybe you were afraid, or, you were feeling very vulnerable about a particular situation. But it's working with the Ten of Cups and the Hierophant. Beautiful. I mean, the Ten of Cups is about family, contentment, total love, total support. If it has to do with career, it's about feeling very connected to your work environment, feeling like you're doing the right thing in your life. You're on the right path, because the cups are emotions. So whatever it is that you're doing is it's highly resonating with your emotional space, where you feel like, your shoes are on the right feet, as you walk the path of your career. And we have this working with the Hierophant, which is really quite nice. I mean, this is about traditions and conventions and expectations and conformity, but you liking it. It's like, Hierophant is a marriage card, right? I mean, it's a good way of looking at it. So some of you may be just very focused on getting married in a beautiful, healthy way. Because we do have the Three of Wands, Ace of Swords. So, wow, really good. So let's say for relationship, the Ace of Swords could be realizing something that's very, very positive about the relationship and having that conversation and you guys planning your life moving forward. And many of you are going to be discussing this Hierophant energy of moving in together, getting married, celebrating the sacred. Really, the Hierophant energy can be celebrating the sacred in your relationship. In the same way, though, it could be celebrating the sacred in your career and in what you do that you really enjoy doing in your life. It's celebrating the sacred in that, but it's releasing yourself from any of the shackles, any of this hole in the soul energy that in any way, shape, or form has held you back up to this point, that's made you be really scared to hide in that crabby shell, right? As a way of self-protection. This is very hard. Once a Cancer feels very threatened or devalued, well, I always say, right, do the crabby side shuffle and you hide in your shell, and it's really hard to pull you out. It's really hard. So I see you kind of releasing a lot of the stuff that you've been dragging around with yourself that you don't even need anymore. And it's just going to create this opening for you in your life. I just see a deepening of commitment, deepening in relationship, a deepening to whatever it is that you're going to ultimately end up choosing to do in career. There's a deepening and a very clear connection. So let's pull some Lenormand and see what we get. And then we'll pull some clarifiers for the Lenormand. Remember, Lenormand is different than Tarot. It's a different system. Puppy. Dog. Cancer, you know what the answer is. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do. We have some challenges here, some obstacles with the mountain. Beautiful. We have the sun. Let's pull all the cards. We have a mask. Book of Knowledge. And we have the patient female. I mean, can I just say in a nutshell, you know exactly what you have to do. You know what the challenges are. You understand that you've been wearing some kind of a mask. Mask is or you've been dealing with somebody wearing a mask. Now, before you guys get upset about that, wearing a mask is part of the human condition. You need to understand that. We're never 100% raw and honest because we have other things going on inside of us, like fear, like vulnerability. Yes, some people do have malice, okay? But there are many reasons why for a particular time period or within a certain circumstance, we may wear a mask. We may not have the full answer to something, right? If it has to do with relationship, maybe you're not 100% over somebody from your past, but what are you going to do? Sit around and just cry all day long? No, you're going to have to get yourself out there again at some point. But you don't want to wear that on your sleeve. So you put on the face and you do what you need to do in order to simultaneously heal yourself and get yourself out there. And the same psychology applies for a job. It's the same thing. But what I feel very strongly here, because of the hole in the soul, is that you're going to be realizing where you haven't been 100% true to yourself, and you're going to be taking that off with the energy of the sun. The sun gives you all the tools in your toolbox that you need in order to work something out. So between the sun and the book of knowledge, all you have to do is unlock the book. And the information is right in there. But it's almost like you're watching your own movie in a way, Cancer, where it's like... Now, for those of you who are male Cancers, you may have a very patient female in your life while you work through your stuff. If you are a female Cancer, this could certainly be you. Now, the dog can represent you actually knowing the truth and just needing some validation, or this could certainly be having a conversation with somebody that you trust. Could have to do with your therapist or a very long-term friend who has your back, somebody that you really trust, about some struggles and obstacles that you've been having, and about the wanting to be a more authentic version of yourself. So maybe you want to change careers, change majors. Maybe you are, seeking some advice on relationship, that you've outgrown your relationship. Obviously it's a general message, so it's going to mean something a little different to each of you, but that is what I see, this mask falling off, you being super authentic. Now again, this could also be you looking a little deeper and you realizing that somebody has been wearing a mask with you. But you have all of this fabulous energy to help you. Because the mountain is really about endurance. It's an obstacle, but making it over, making it through it. We have the Strength card. Yeah, this goes quite in beautiful alignment with what I'm saying here. It's a Leo energy. Justice, another major arcana. What's fair? It's to do with relationships. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, working hard on something. Being very patient. And then we have the Moon. 7 of Pentacles is all about being very patient, hardworking. This is about recognizing that there's some sort of delayed success, right? Having to do with the situation that you're in right now. But we in the Strength and the Justice energy, the Strength card really is about, it's a Leo energy, but it's about self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, feeling really courageous, and recognizing the cause and effect within a certain relationship, and the truth coming out. The truth coming out. When we have the 7 of Pentacles, again, this does indicate waiting for success. The truth of something comes out, but you're still patiently waiting. And we have the Moon energy. So the Moon energy is unseen problems, some sort of voluntary changes, but really very much trusting your intuition, right? Very much trusting your intuition here. So, yeah, 7 of Pentacles, being very patient, trusting your intuition, but really paying attention to the cause and effect of something. Justice is a Libra energy, 7th house of partnerships, ruled by Venus. Venus is all about recognizing what we value. How do you feel being in this relationship? How do you feel being in this job? Is it equitable? Does it make you feel good? Right? Because it's all about self-love right now. It's all about self-love. And while you're doing this beautiful work, the Moon energy does indicate some problems that are unseen. Now, the problems may be yours, that you are having kind of boil up to the surface, that you're kind of saying, you know what, I can't not see this anymore. I can't not pay attention to this. I think it's time that I make some voluntary changes in my life, and it's time that I really honor my intuition, and just working with that in a very patient way. We have the 5th house. 5th house is the Strength energy, right? It's Leo. Leo's the 5th house of fun, ruled by the Moon. Taurus, a very practical and pragmatic way. We also do have that Moon going into Taurus as well. And then we have Jupiter, which is all about luck and expansion. So I like the fact that we got Jupiter having to do with the 5th house. So those of you who are single, you could be meeting somebody, falling in love. This is a really beautiful energy for boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, great energy for sex, great energy to connect with your children, great energy to be very creative, maybe come up with some sort of venture that is a hobby that you end up loving, that you want to turn into a career that you may end up making money at, that's going to end up going really well for you. Really nice energy, but like getting out of your own way and embracing what you can do, and being very, very solution oriented and not problem focused. Virgo, my gosh, that's amazing that we got Virgo and I just said that. As I just said, it's like be solution focused. It's Virgo. Virgo is the most pragmatic, solution focused energy in the zodiac. They're very critical of themselves, critical of those around them, but it's necessary in order to solve problems, right? And that's the Virgo energy, is being very sort of methodical, very insightful, very healthy minded, very discerning. Yeah, so I do like that. I do like it. Just make sure you don't get too caught up in things being perfect, because nothing's perfect. That could be a potential negative manifestation of the Virgo energy, but nonetheless, it's being very, very solution focused. So I do like that, solution focused and doing this work on self. And that is what I have for you, my Cancer friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.